by young and old alike eagerly as a command from on high. The cradle of our faith, the native land of our Lord and the mother of salvation, is now forcibly held by a people without God. For many years now, the wicked race of Saracens, followers of unclean practices, have oppressed with tyrannical violence the holy places where the feet of our Lord rested. Dogs have entered into the holy places. Priests have been slain in the sanctuaries. Virgins forced to choose between prostitution and death by torture.
In the autumn of 1096, almost a year after the Pope's sermon, armies from France, Germany, and Italy set out on the epic 3,000-mile march to aid their Christian brothers and liberate the Holy Land from Muslim rule. At the helm of the largest army from Northern Europe was Duke Godfrey of Bouillon.
Godfrey was one of the senior leaders of the First Crusade. He was a very pious man. In fact, we know that he brought a number of monks with him on the expedition to help him in his daily prayers. He was also a great warrior. He'd won repute before the crusade for his feats in single combat, and he was a respected man who the leaders of the expedition felt they could all deal with.
At Godfrey's side was his younger brother Baldwin, the Count of Boulogne. Ruthless to the core, Baldwin had once been destined for the priesthood, but had turned instead to a love of women and war.
Writers talk about him being plagued by lust and...
Following in the footsteps of Duke Godfrey and Count Baldwin, military historian John France uses 11th century sources as his guidebook. These medieval records reveal the harsh realities of life on crusade.
To take the cross must have been very, very expensive. We know that people sold land, we know that they mortgaged land. They seem to have tried to raise about 6 years' income just to live through the crusade.
As Baldwin celebrated his successful takeover of Edessa, 150 miles to the southwest, the main Crusader army arrived at the great walled city of Antioch. above the city ramparts incensed the Crusader army. They had been double-crossed by their so-called Christian brother, Emperor Alexius. Yagishian's message had gotten through. The day after his execution, the Turkish reinforcements finally arrived.